Hello everybody and welcome to the series finale of the Everton FC 26 career mode. In this series it was our goal to turn Merseyside blue, bring Everton back on top of English football, as well as putting them on top of European football also. And when it comes to domestic football, we have been very, very successful in this series. We did a League and Carabao Cup double in Season 2. Here in Season 3, we've already won a second league title in a row. We won the FA Cup in the last episode against Manchester United. And now we face Real Madrid in the Champions League final as we look to become the first team from Merseyside to win the Premier League, FA Cup and Champions League in the same season. Can Everton become the first Merseyside team to win the treble? And before any Liverpool fans want to throw it out there that they have won 3 trophies in a campaign before, yes, I'm very aware of that, but they've never won a league, European Cup and FA Cup in the same season. So that is the treble I'm referring to. Yes, they did a First Division League Cup and European Cup treble back in the 80s, I think it was. They also did a Cup treble in 2001 with the FA Cup, League Cup and UEFA Cup, but they've never won the League, FA Cup and Champions League in the same season. That is obviously the one I'm referring to. So yeah, just said I'd get that out there. But anyways, I did want to recap our journey in the Champions League this season and also take a look at how Real Madrid got on as well, because to be honest with you, after the league phase, I didn't really pay too much attention to them until this very moment where we're going to be playing them in the Champions League final. So of course, we both finished in the top 8 in the Champions League. They came in second place undefeated, just like Roma did. I only noticed that now that Roma actually finished undefeated in the Champions League phase. Fair play to them. But Real Madrid did finish above them there. 6 wins, 2 draws and 0 defeats. We finished in 5th place, 5 wins, 1 draw and 2 defeats. But one of those defeats actually did come to the hands of Real Madrid. So yeah, they have already beaten us this season. They knocked us out of the Champions League as well in Season 2. So yeah, there is a bit of history in this fixture in this series. Then when it comes to the last 16 of the Champions League, we actually both played teams in green and white, and both of us were taken to the brink. Both games, or both ties I should say, ended 5-3 on aggregate. We beat Celtic by 2-1 at Paradise. Adam Wharton with a very late winner in a game where we were very lucky to get the win, to be honest, and then we did beat them 3-2 in Merseyside. And Real Madrid took on Portuguese side Sporting, 2-2 at the Bernabeu, 5-3 as well on aggregate, as I say. Okay, fair play to Sporting. That makes me kind of confident that we might be able to do something here against Real Madrid, because with all due respect to Sporting, we do have a much better team. Then in the quarterfinals, we actually did take down a team from Madrid as we took on Atletico, and despite the fact that we lost the first leg by 3-2, we travelled to the Metropolitano and beat them by 2-0. And Atletico have been a massive, massive bogey team for me in career mode, so I was very, very happy with that result. Real Madrid took on PSG in the quarterfinals, a very big clash there between 2 European giants, and they did end up knocking the French side out by 3-1 on aggregate. So that actually stopped us from coming up against our former striker Thierry Barry, who of course is now playing for PSG in this series, and he's actually currently at a 93 rating. So in a way, I'm quite happy that we didn't have to come up against him in this series. And then in the semi-finals of this competition, it was an all-English clash for ourselves. The blue half of Merseyside took down the blue half of Manchester. Kai Rooney's late winner at the Hill Dickinson Stadium took us to the Champions League final. And this was massive for us because despite the fact that we won the league pretty comfortably, Manchester City actually had beaten us twice in the Premier League this season. So I was very happy to get some revenge here in the semi-final. Real Madrid had a cracking second leg against RB Leipzig. 3-3 there in Germany after a 1-0 win at the Bernabeu. I tell you what, Real Madrid, apart from the league phase of this competition, it's not been that convincing. They haven't exactly run through anybody, and fair enough with PSG, that was always going to be a close game. But Leipzig and Sporting, all due respect to those sides, you'd expect Real Madrid to run through them. So yeah, you never know. We might actually have a chance at taking them down here. I also just wanted to have a look as well at how Real Madrid got on domestically this season, because of course with the simulated competitions this season, not only can you check how the team got on in their league, but you can also check how they fared in their cup competition as well. So let's go into La Liga. Real Madrid did win the league title by 3 points over Atletico Madrid, 93 points on the table for them. Barcelona came 5th, wow, not a very good season for them. But indeed a very good season there for Real Madrid here in La Liga. Let's have a look at the Spanish Cup as well. If we go down here, it should pop up. So we have the Supercopa, which is basically their version of a Community Shield. Let's check. Did they win that? They did. They beat Barcelona 3-1 on penalties after a 1-1 draw. But did they win the actual Spanish Cup? No, they didn't. Atletico won it. So you could argue Real Madrid are going for a treble, but really it's a double. As I said, the Supercopa is more like the Community Shield. Although, to be fair, you do have to play semi-finals in it as opposed to just a one-off final. So maybe you could compare it to the League Cup more than the Community Shield from that regard. But still, if they'd won the Copa de España, I would have said they're going for a treble. But because they didn't, I'll just say they're going for a double. Let's take a quick look at Real Madrid's probable lineup here before we get into the game. I mean, at a quick glance, it looks like a fairly standard Real Madrid team. The only thing really standing out for me at the moment is that Gabriel is at centre-back. Although, to be fair, I find that nearly every career mode I've done since FC25, maybe even FC24, Gabriel always seems to end up at Real Madrid. It's one of those common transfers that seems to happen in every save that I've done for the last few years. They've got a regen player there at left back, Theobald, so it'll be very interesting to see what his rating is. Valverde there at right back, Asensio at centre back, Camavinga and Tchouaméni in the midfield, Bellingham, Vinicius Jr., Arda Güler and Mbappe leading the front line there. Their bench looking fairly standard as well. Diogo Costa has ended up at Real Madrid. Again though, I think that transfer seems to happen quite a lot. But yeah, not too many changes to this Real Madrid team, but still they have a lot of very dangerous players that we know can do a lot of damage. And it's so funny as well because I remember looking at the probable lineup of the Real Madrid team before the Champions League final in the Manchester United career mode last year. And to this day, I still don't know why they didn't include Kylian Mbappe in the team. If he was injured or suspended, it would have said it here. He wasn't. They didn't include him in the squad. And I swear on my life, I did nothing to affect that. So hopefully lightning might strike twice, and maybe Real Madrid will drop Kylian Mbappe from this final as well for whatever reason. And we, of course, will be going with our full-strength team here in the Champions League final. Mainu back in the starting 11, having been dropped for the FA Cup final. Trent Alexander-Arnold back there at right back. Jared Brentwaite back, partnering Jake O'Brien. Jordan Pickford in goal, captaining the side as well. Vlahovic back up front with Rooney. Akliush back out on the right-hand side. Yeah, it's... In the FA Cup, I was willing to rotate because we had played quite a rotated team throughout the competition this season. But in the Champions League final, I was always going to be going with my main starting 11. And look at where this Champions League final is. We were only in Wembley in the last episode winning the FA Cup, and now we come here again, hopefully this time, to not only win a Champions League title, but also to win a treble for Everton. Let's do this. This might be Everton's first time in a Champions League final, but it is not their first time in a European final. Back in 1985, they did beat Rapid Vienna by 3-1 in Rotterdam in the European Cup Winners' Cup final. And of course, as we mentioned in the last episode, they were one game away from winning a treble, but they did end up losing the FA Cup final to Manchester United. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, it wouldn't have been this treble. It would have been a different one because it was the Cup Winners' Cup and not the European Cup. But still, we righted the wrong of 1985 by beating United in the FA Cup final in this campaign, and now can we win Everton their second European trophy in their history, and the biggest trophy in their history as well. I'm looking at the Real Madrid team, and I think it basically is that team they showed us in the probable lineup. There might have been maybe one or two changes that I didn't really notice, but from what I've seen so far, it looks fairly standard, wearing that famous all-white kit. Of course, we're wearing our famous blue kits with the white shorts. Oh lads, I'm so excited. I really, really am. That's what we're playing for. That lovely trophy right there. Yeah, looking at the team here, I think there actually might have been one change. Yeah, they've got a different centre-back in there. Houston, I think is how you say it. Instead of, what's his name? Asensio, who was in there originally. But Mbappe is in the team. They've learned from their mistake in FC25. I knew it was very unlikely that, you know, history was going to repeat itself. But still, listen, it was worth a gamble to have a guess to see if they would do that again. But anyways, Real Madrid lining up to take their squad picture here. It's a very, very good team, I do have to say. But as I mentioned earlier, they've not been that convincing in the lead up to the Champions League final. Definitely not been the most straightforward run for them, especially when you look at some of the teams they played against, especially in Sporting. Again, with all due respect, I really thought Real Madrid would have gotten a more comfortable result against Sporting. Leipzig, I know, can be a little bit hit and miss, but yeah, Sporting I thought they would have beaten quite comfortably. But that's our team there. 3 of our back 4 were all 1 yellow card away from missing this game, which is crazy to think, but thankfully they all avoided suspension and they're all ready to play in this final. I did include Esteban Lepal on the bench as well instead of Susic. I said I'd rather have another striker on there than a midfielder because of course Trent can play there if needs be. But look, enough of the pleasantries. Real Madrid get things kicked off here. Bloody hell, I can't even say the name of the team we're playing against. The pressure is already getting to me. But that's a good interception there, and we are on the ball now. Here's Trent Alexander-Arnold, of course, who we signed from Real Madrid in the summer transfer window. The most controversial signing I've ever had on the channel. Here's Yeremy Pino, arguably the best signing we've made. He's been absolutely fantastic. Not a bad ball in, but Thibaut Courtois ends up catching it. Oh my god, Akliouche nearly took out Vinicius Jr. there. Oh, here's Arda Güler into Mbappe. Jake O'Brien with a really good interception there. Brilliant from the man who did lift the FA Cup at this stadium in the last episode. May not be wearing the captain's armband in this game, but he's definitely leading by example with a challenge like that. Rooney ends up losing the ball there. And of course, lads, this game is being played in its entirety. No editing to be done. Akliouche doing really well to win that ball back. Here's Yeremy Pino now. Into Robinson. Oh, I tell you what, that's an interesting cross. For a second, I thought that was going to sneak in there. I've never seen a cross like that before. Mbappe is the top scorer in the Champions League as well. Vlahovic and Rooney both on 8 goals respectively. Hopefully their tallies will go up in this game. Joe Turr liking what he sees so far. What message am I trying to give to my players there? It looks so wrong. It really does. But anyways, let's move on. Akliouche with the good interception there. Here is Trent. Jared Brantwaite. Robinson, 2 players who didn't start the FA Cup final, but they are in the team for this game. Here's Rooney. Oh, looking for Vlahovic, but a good interception. We nearly won it back, but Real Madrid get it instantly, and then Adam Wharton does really well to regain possession. Rooney could be in here, but Gabriel made sure to get in the way there. Bit of a cagey game so far. Not really had any big opportunities yet. Technically no shots yet either, because Robinson's effort, if you want to call it that, was a cross. But here come Real Madrid. O'Brien with another really good interception, and he gives it over to Jordan Pickford. 24 minutes in, and still not a single shot on goal here. I've messed around with it a bit too much there. Oh, Robinson's been done there by Güler. He manages to keep it in as well. Brantwaite, though, with a great interception. Oh, Pino, what are you doing? Well done, Adam Wharton. Of course, both former Crystal Palace players who've done really well since coming to the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Here is Yeremy Pino. Back to Rooney. Good interception by Tchouaméni. Is it Tchouaméni or Tchouaméni? I've heard both pronunciations and I don't actually know what the correct pronunciation is. So do let me know in the comments if you are aware of what it is. But here's Arda Güler now. Robinson unable to get that ball back. He goes down, but no advantage. Good interception there, though, by the American. Mainu now on the run. He has scored in cup finals at Wembley before for Manchester United in the FA Cup final. Rooney has scored for Everton, though, here in the Champions League final. His 9th Champions League goal of the season, and it is by far the biggest. Well, his dad scored a goal at that very same end in the Champions League final in 2011 against Real Madrid's bitter rivals in Manchester United. But Kai Rooney has done it here now against Real Madrid for Everton. And Wayne Rooney's one was an equaliser. Kai Rooney's is the goal that puts Everton in front here. What a really good finish that was from the man who we stole from Manchester United. For whatever reason, they decided not to give him a chance. And he came to his dad's boyhood club and he's not looked back. He scored the winner in the FA Cup final. And now he has scored here in the Champions League final. Absolutely fantastic from Kai Rooney. And it was very important we took the lead in this game. Real Madrid are a very hard team to come from behind against. Now listen, there's still a long way to go in this game. I'm not saying they can't turn it around. Of course they can. They are more than capable. But it's always nice to get the first goal against them. No! Oh my God! It's hit the post! And Jake O'Brien, oh my God, does really well there. Oh, to intercept that. We have gotten away with one there. It should be 1-1. I'll be completely honest, it should be 1-1 here. Can we go up the other end now and take advantage of that missed opportunity? I actually didn't mean to pass that ball. Here's Adam Wharton. It's Vlahovic! It's 2-0! They've both scored here in the Champions League final. I am losing my voice here. Dusan Vlahovic, who is level with Kai Rooney in the goal-scoring charts of the Champions League coming into this game, has levelled up with them here again just moments after Rooney gave us the lead. Pino gave it to Wharton, Wharton to Vlahovic, and we have doubled our advantage here, basically on the stroke of half-time. That is a really good finish there. Courtois got nowhere near it. Real Madrid 0, Everton 2. It was Andy Gray, Trevor Steven and Kevin Sheedy back in 1985. It's Rooney and Vlahovic here so far. Could there be more where those two goals came from? Honestly, I really do think we have been the better team, bar that little scare from Real Madrid towards the end, right after we got the first goal, I should say. It really has been a very good performance from ourselves. Half-time here, 2-0 up, 45 minutes away from sealing an historic treble. I really, really needed to take a breather there because the end of that half was incredibly wild. I couldn't even speak there. I mean, I could barely speak at the start of the game, never mind the end of that first half. But we get things going here. 45 minutes, well, technically less than 45 minutes now away from sealing a treble here at Wembley against Real Madrid. But I'd love to make it an absolute drubbing. I really would. I'd like to get a third goal as well to pay homage to the 85 team, who of course did win that Cup Winners' Cup. Here's Akliouche now going on the run. Good cut back there. Decent ball in. Oh, Rooney was there, but Gabriel with a good header away. The former Arsenal man stopping Rooney from getting his second and our third. And of course Rooney and Vlahovic now both only 2 goals behind Kylian Mbappe in the Champions League goal scoring charts. But here is Mbappe. Have I just jinxed it? He hasn't scored, but he has got an assist here for Jude Bellingham. The Real Madrid captain has gotten a goal back for Real Madrid, and he's so stunned he's frozen in the corner of the net. Oh, that is really frustrating. It's a really good goal. I mean, Jordan Pickford, what are you doing there? I'm not saying I'm expecting him to save it, but why have you done that? You've gone away from the ball. It's like he's tried to not get hit instead of trying to bloody save it. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to think about it this way. We're 1 goal away from matching the score in 1985. That's what I'll say. I'll keep it positive here. But that does give Real Madrid a really big lifeline here. We just need to keep it cool though. We're still the ones in control. We are not chasing this game. Just over half an hour to go, and we are leading in this Champions League final. Can we be leading it by 3 goals to 1 though? Not yet. Good interception there. Honestly, at this stage, I wouldn't mind just taking out a few players. Kobbie Mainoo chasing down Bellingham here. Tried to take him out, but he's done me there. The Real Madrid captain. The Englishman coming back to haunt an English club. Good interception there by Mainoo. Over to Adam Wharton now. Here's Yeremy Pino. Rooney. Go on, keep running, Yeremy. Keep running. Great ball. Decent ball in for Vlahovic. Oh! I went quiet there for a second. I really needed to stay focused. And it was nearly a really good goal. But Courtois with a brilliant save. It wouldn't be like Belgian players or teams to get on my nerves in this game. And of course Thibaut Courtois, Belgian international. If you know, you know. But so far, we are doing really well here against the Spanish Giants, despite conceding that goal. But as I said, they are still in this game. Vinicius Jr. with a lovely touch there. Trent does really well to win it back. Oh my god, he thought he was still playing for Real Madrid there though. And he gave the ball over to Kylian Mbappe. Thankfully, we recover really well. Here's Pino now. Yet again. Robinson's making that run. It's a great ball. That is not what I meant to do, but it still nearly found Kai Rooney. But Real Madrid deal with it again. We're in the 73rd minute already. Time is going very, very quickly. Probably too quickly for Real Madrid. But then we give the ball back to them again. Take him out, Cobby. If you can stay up with him. Arda Güler. No. Oh, Jake O'Brien. I tell you what, candidate for man of the match. He has been absolutely excellent. Both him and Jared Branthwaite have been really, really good. Dusan Vlahovic, though, he's already got one in this game. Decent effort. But Courtois with the save. I think this is a good time to make changes as well. They're bringing Rodrigo on for Arda Güler. That's incredible squad depth. Of course, Xabi Alonso, former Liverpool player, managing Real Madrid in this career mode, just like he is in real life. Well, at least for now, at the time of recording. Right, let's make some changes. Mainu is knackered. I'm going to bring on Eluwadi at right back. Trent can go up into the midfield. Adam Wharton is pretty tired as well. Do I take him off, though? You know what? I'm actually going to keep him on. It's a bit of a bold decision, but I am going to keep him on. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put Trent over on the right. I'm going to put Wharton up here maybe and bring on Eric Bunham, who does better as a centre midfielder. Yeah, Adam Wharton does. So we'll put Eric Bunham there. Adam Wharton will go where Trent initially, or where Mainu initially was, I should say. Trent out on the right. Eluwadi there at right back. And I think those are the only changes I'm going to make for now. Do I whip this ball in with Trent Alexander-Arnold? You know what? Yeah, let's try and get this third and surely clinching goal. And literally, the corner could not have gone. It could not have gone further away from any Everton player there. And Real Madrid have it right back. Vinicius Jr. now up against Eluwadi, just off the bench. Here he is again, Vinny. What can he do here? Jake O'Brien with another good interception. I mean, it wasn't a great ball by Vinicius Jr., but still, I'm going to give the praise to Jake O'Brien again. It may be biased, but I don't care. He has been excellent in this game. Here's Dusan Vlahovic. Looking to play in Kai Rooney. It's another really poor ball. And Real Madrid have it back again. I would be absolutely gutted if we were to concede in these last few moments. I really would. Eric Bunham with a really good tackle there though. Yeremy Pino now. Eric Bunham. Go on, Kai. Great run here as we approach stoppage time. Can we get the clinching goal? Kai Rooney nearly did it, but there's only one added minute. Surely that's it. You know what? Let's make some time-wasting subs. Let's take off Robinson, bring on Joaquin Says. I'll bring on Luna as well. The Lionel Messi regen can get an appearance here against Real Madrid. And who else will I bring on? Ameja or Esteban Lepal. You know what? Lepal's already played in a Champions League final in this series. Let's bring on Ameja and we'll give Vlahovic a rest. Rewarding these players who've done really well, even as squad players this season, with a very brief appearance here in the Champions League final. Fully deserved, and lads, we are 15 seconds away from sealing it. I may as well whip this ball in. The game is over. If we get a third goal, great. If not, who cares? Because, lads, it looks like we have done it. We have completed the objective of the series, and we have become the first team from Merseyside to win the treble. The Toffees have won the Premier League, the FA Cup, and the Champions League, all in a single season. They've done it here at Wembley against Real Madrid, the most successful team in Champions League history. And just like Cody Rhodes back at WrestleMania 40, we have finished the story. Oh my god. Oh, the relief, lads. The relief. Honestly, I can't believe it only took us 3 seasons. I really, really can't. But in a way, it felt like it was much longer. It really did. Oh, you can imagine the scenes at Merseyside tonight. You really can. Oh my goodness me. The players go up to accept their winners' medals, even though they still don't have an animation of when the players actually do collect the medals, which is really annoying. But Jordan Pickford will be the man to lift up this European Cup. It was Kevin Ratcliffe back in 85. It's England's number one this time. Also Everton's number one. And Everton are number one in England and in Europe as well. Premier League winners, FA Cup winners, and now champions of Europe. Drink it in, toffees. This is for you. Oh, what a journey it's been, lads. It's been absolutely fantastic. I'm really proud of the team that we've built as well. It was a really, really fun squad to use. It really was. I mean, there was good foundations there to begin with. I was very impressed with the base starting 11. Those are some of the most fun career modes to do. When there's a good core there, solid foundations, as I say, that you just keep building on. And boy, did we build on it. And Jordan Pickford, honestly, as much as I said Jake O'Brien was going to be a captain in this career mode, and he did get to captain the FA Cup final, I don't think there's a more fitting player than Jordan Pickford to lift this trophy. Everton's longest serving player in this career mode. He's been absolutely brilliant, up to an 88 rating at 34 years old. And he finishes off this series by lifting up the European Cup for the Toffees. The streets of Merseyside are full of Everton blue here as we parade around the 3 trophies that we've won this season. Oh my goodness me, lads. It's such a great feeling right now. When you set an objective for yourself in a series, you've no idea how much pressure there is to deliver it. And boy, did we deliver it. A brilliant moment here for these Everton supporters. They've been through so much pain over the years watching Liverpool win it all, but now it's their turn to enjoy the success. Up the fucking Toffees. Well, lads, it's time to officially wrap up this series by doing what we do in the last episode of every series that we do on here. We'll have a look at the stats of each player from this final campaign, and we'll also have a look at the stats of this career mode overall as well. So when it comes to appearances, Jake O'Brien is leading the charts there with 57 appearances, 85 rated. What a season, and what a series he had, lads. Look, there is a bit of bias there. As a few of you will know, I actually am related to Jake O'Brien in person, so he was always going to be a prominent figure in this save. But you know what? He really did live up to the billing. He was ever present at the back. I never ended up changing my main centre-back duo. It was him and Branthwaite the whole way throughout, and they were both absolutely excellent. And Jake O'Brien really did lead by example. Whilst he never officially became the captain of Everton, we did give him the captain's armband for the FA Cup games, and I'm really glad that he did get to lift that trophy at Wembley. Rooney then with 56 appearances. In second place, Trent with 54, Wharton with 54, Pino with 54 as well. A few other players in the 50s there and high 40s. So yeah, we had quite a lot of players who were ever present in the team this season. Top goal scorer, of course, was always going to be Kai Rooney. 33 goals and 17 assists as well in 56 appearances. Vlahovic then in second place with 27 and 9. I really do think they complemented each other a little bit better than Rooney and Barry. Don't get me wrong, that was a good partnership as well. But I always love having a left-footed striker and a right-footed striker leading the line up front. I really, really did enjoy having these two play up front together. Vlahovic has been somebody I've loved using in career mode for quite a few years now. So I'm really glad that I got the chance to use him on the channel. This was the first time I actually signed him in a series on this channel. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised it took me until now to do it, but yeah, better late than never, as they say. And Mayhead there with 17 goals as a backup, Yermi Pino with 13, Trent with 9, not all from right back of course, he did score some from centre midfield and right midfield as well, but you know what? Some people mightn't have been happy that we signed Trent over Livramento, but this is another reason why I wanted to sign him. Yeah, in real life right now you could argue that Livramento might be better, but in the game, lads, Trent added such an interesting storyline. The former Liverpool player who ended his time there on bad terms, bringing him back to Merseyside as an Everton player to get some revenge, and he ends up winning the treble with them. Like, that's an amazing story. But look at the output as well. 54 appearances, 9 goals, and 12 assists. Like, Livramento, he would have been a good signing. But he would not have given me what Trent has been able to give me in this series. He absolutely would not have been able to do that at all. So Trent Alexander-Arnold, thank you very much for your service here for Everton. Assist-wise then, Pino and Rooney both with 17 each. As we said, Trent with 12. A few players there on 9, 8, 7, and a little bit more spread out then the more we go down. And in terms of attributes, the highest rated player in the team, of course, Kai Rooney at 91 overall, but Jordan Pickford, 34 years old, he's still going up. As you can see there, just in the bottom there, he's very, very close to being an 89 rating. If we were doing another season, he would be 1 rating away from 90 overall. That is absolutely insane. And then when it comes to the career summary of Joseph Tuchel's time in charge of Everton, these are the final statistics. Of course, we stayed at one club throughout this series. We were a toffee through and through. We won 2 league titles in back-to-back seasons, 2 domestic cups that also came in back-to-back seasons, the League Cup in Season 2, the FA Cup in Season 3, and of course also in Season 3 we did win that Continental Cup, which of course was the UEFA Champions League. Our biggest win was a 5-0 victory over Newcastle in September of 2026. Our biggest defeat came a few months later in the third round of the FA Cup, a 5-2 loss to Brighton in January of 2027. You know what? I've had biggest wins in career modes I've done previously, but I've definitely had biggest defeats previously. So 5-2, a 3-goal margin, I'll take that. I don't think that's too bad, all things considered. Our record transfer fee was 85 million. I believe that would have been for Trent Alexander-Arnold. In fact, if I go here into Season 3, yeah, Alexander-Arnold was signed for 85 million. Our biggest transfer fee received would have been for Thierry Barry, 175 million in the very same transfer window, and the total earnings was 9.2 million altogether. Lovely, lovely stuff. The club record, we played 170 games, won 121 of them, drew 21 of them, and lost 28 of them, scoring 381 goals and conceding 207. And just like that, lads, another series comes to an end here on the Straight Outta Cloyne YouTube channel. I just wanted to say a few words before we wrap things up, just to talk a little bit about the series and also to give a little bit of a preview on what to expect on the channel over the next few weeks and months. As you can probably tell, my voice and my throat are hanging on for dear life, so hopefully I don't lose my voice throughout this, but yeah, there are just a few things I did want to say before we wrap things up. In terms of doing an Everton career mode, lads, I knew for the longest time that Everton were going to be the first team that we were using in FC26. I mean, literally as far back as when we were starting the Celtic series, I knew that Everton were going to be the first team in FC26. It was a toss-up initially between Everton and another team that geographically aren't that far away from Everton. And that team will probably end up being the first FC27 career mode. So let me know down in the comments below who you think that team will be. I'd be very intrigued to see which one of those teams you think I'm thinking of doing this time next year, or around this time next year, I should say. But yeah, in terms of FC26, Everton for me were the perfect choice. In terms of them moving to their new stadium, the fact that Liverpool have had so much success in real life, maybe not at this present moment, but in terms of, you know, competing for league titles, winning the league title last season, since Everton won their last trophy, since Everton won their last trophy, there I go, nearly losing my voice, Liverpool had literally won it all. So the chance for Everton to move into their new stadium, have that new era by winning all these trophies that they've seen Liverpool win, there was just no better team for me to pick in terms of the first club here that we were going to use in FC26 career mode. I'm a real-life Manchester United fan, so it was very easy for me to gravitate towards another team that have a mutual dislike for Liverpool. That transition was seamless, to be honest, lads. It really, really was. And I said this to somebody recently. If United can't win the FA Cup this season, then I hope Everton win it. Not just because we've done this career mode with them, but Everton are such a prestigious club, such a big club as well. And I think it's really sad that a club like Everton can go this long without winning any type of silverware. So again, if it can't be United, then I hope it is the Toffees. Also, and this is very personal here, so I'm going to do my best not to get emotional here, but I really did want to get this message out there. The support on this series, lads, has meant so much to me. Not just because of, you know, people are tuning into this series and enjoying it, but because As some of you might remember, at the end of season 1, I took a little bit of a break from this series because my grandmother passed away. And it's been a very, very tough time for us down here, for both myself and my family, especially with it being this close to Christmas. And, you know, even before my nan passed away, 2025 was personally a very tough year. So to have a big loss in our lives like that made it all the more tough. But this channel has gotten me through so many dark days this year, lads. It really, really has. Every like, every comment, every subscribe, every hype, it means more to me than you will ever know, especially this year, because I really, really needed it, lads. This channel has given me something to focus on when there's been a lot of stress happening in my own life. So thank you all so much for the support. Again, I'm trying not to get emotional here talking about it, but as I said, the support means the absolute world to me, and thank you all for being a part of this journey. 2026, I really want to repay all your faith, especially those of you who I've seen regularly commenting on the videos, the people who regularly reach out to me on social media. Honestly, this isn't just my channel, this is our channel. I really do feel like that, so I really want to repay all your faith by investing more in this channel, improving the production quality, and yeah, paying back your support, which, as I said, from the bottom of my heart, lads, it means the world to me, so thank you all so much. Literally just seconds after talking about improving the production quality of these episodes, I plugged out my own microphone by accident. Yeah, the irony is not lost on me. It really, really isn't. But whatever. Never a dull moment and all that crack. Let's move on to the next series on this channel, lads. What is the next series going to be? Well, the next series is going to be a Create a Club series based out of Miami in the MLS. David Beckham has set up Inter Miami, and in their short history, they've had quite a bit of decent success. Of course, Lionel Messi is now playing over there. They are arguably the biggest team in the MLS at the moment, based off, you know, the people who are involved in the club alone. And I think another American celebrity who may or may not share a birthday with David Beckham might look at that and think, you know what, let's take them on. So I'm very, very excited about it, lads. There's a few reasons I wanted to do an MLS career mode. First of all, never done one before. Even in my own time, never done an MLS career mode. The first 2 series we ever did on this channel were both Create a Club series, so I've been looking for an excuse to do another one of those for a very long time, and I think with the World Cup around the corner as well, being based out of North America, I thought, why not do an MLS career mode right before that tournament? So I'm very, very excited for it. I'm going to take the rest of 2025 off. I'm going to be setting up that series in the background, and in the first week of January, please keep your eyes peeled on both the Straight Outta Cloyne Instagram page. The link for that will be in the description below, and also on the community tab of the channel to keep an eye out for when the first episode is going to drop on the channel. And then after that MLS career mode, lads, we will be doing what's definitely going to be my longest series I ever do on the channel, with Cork City. I will be taking my local team from the League of Ireland, bringing them over to England's League 2, rising up through the ranks and looking to win it all. I'm really excited for both of these series. And I hope you are too, lads. I really, really do hope so. But that will do it for this Everton career mode, lads. Once again, thank you all so much for the support on this series. I wanted to take this chance as well to wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas. I hope you enjoy the holiday season with your loved ones. Eat and drink everything you can throughout this festive period, and I hope you all have a blessed new year as well. If you did enjoy this video, lads, please do hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel as well, and I will talk to you all in 2026. Take care.